Don't upset bus drivers. Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me. Yeah. Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me. What's up, Wackins? Alright, now you know we gotta talk about it. Eboni K Williams was on the Breakfast Club to further discuss her taste in men. Now, if you don't know about it, Eboni K Williams had Ayanna Van Zandt, or however you say her name, on her platform, and they were discussing men and women in a relationship and what needs to change. This comes off of when Ayanna was on the Breakfast Club, and she said that women are walking around like men in skirts. And while they were having the interview, Ayanna asked Eboni K, would she date a bus driver, to which Eboni K Williams said if he owned the bus. And that had a lot of people talking, condemning her, talking about bus drivers are this, bus drivers make this much, bus drivers have these type of benefits, they get the best benefits in the world. My mom was a bus driver, my daddy was a bus driver, my granny, everybody was a bus driver, and they the greatest people ever. So Eboni K decided to go ahead and double down on it and start talking about black people selling for less when they could do more. And Eboni K wants black people to do better and wants them to achieve better than mediocre and average standing in life. So that had her come on the Breakfast Club because people was killing her for that, where she defended her point. And actually, Eboni K Williams and DJ Envy had a back and forth where DJ Envy was standing up for the average worker with, living the average lifestyle, saying those are good people. Envy said his family were average earners. Eboni K Williams said her family were average earners too, but they just had different opinions on it. DJ Envy said he can never look down on people who work average job because his family put him through school on average work, and he knows a lot of good people who work average jobs and are hard workers. Eboni K said she agreed. It is not about the job, it's the mentality of the person. Eboni K Williams said she's tired of black people being the lowest earners as a race and selling for less and not striving to do better. And she wants in a partner somebody who always striving to maintain or striving to get higher and higher and earn more and do more. I would say this, I understand where Eboni's coming from, and of course it's 100% up to her who she wants in a partner in her relationship. She's the one who's got to stay with him, not me. So she should be able to say, I want this type of guy, I want that type of guy. The problem that I see with this is not that Eboni has taste and that's what she wants. It's that I don't think that that's what she was initially saying. I think Eboni was saying what a lot of women do is that anybody who works an average job who does what majority of people do is not a fit for her. Now, Eboni is a celebrity to some degree. She is, and she does work in the industry that has a higher earning, so I understand where she's coming from. But again, her mentality was, if you work that type of job, then you are less than me. I do believe that's what she was saying. I think she backtracked on that and tried to make it this whole, I want my people to do better thing once she saw that it didn't go over well and she didn't get a lot of women saying, yes, queen, get what you deserve. She had a lot of people giving her backlash for talking down on people who make an honest living. That's my opinion on it, and that's why I couldn't really get down with her, because even though I agree with everything she said, Eboni K said, I agree that we as black people, we tend to focus on stuff that really don't matter, and there's so much that affects us. She even brought up that the Supreme Court is going to strike down. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's going affirmative action. That's going away, and black people not talking about that, but we stay and talk about Eboni K Williams. And yes, I do agree she's not the biggest topic in the world, but I will also say that she's fallen down that same trap of leaving men that don't fit into this certain narrative. Or she said Eboni K talked about leaving a lawyer who, because of the type of law he practiced, couldn't go on a trip with her at a time. And my thing is, man, women act like they got the pick of the litter when it comes to men, and that what women don't seem to realize is that they is on a time clock. And if you someone like Eboni K who's around all these type of great men and you're not being chose, you gotta start wondering less so or stop worrying so much about not getting the bus driver and wondering how come you're not getting one of these other guys, these owners, right? She said she wants a boss who own their own business. Well, how come you haven't gotten them yet? I know she was married but divorced. I know that she was engaged to somebody but separated, and she's single now, I believe. So regardless of what you say, that it's not sticking around. So you're picking wrong, or they're picking wrong and saying I don't want you, but it's not working out. And so like to Eboni, I would say to everybody else, it's not about what you want, is what you can get. And if you can't get that, you got to look and see, well, how come those type of men who I deem to be successes aren't choosing me because I feel I'm a success? And maybe you're a success in your work and your life and stuff like that, but not as a partner to be with a man to be submissive. that's my 2 cents on it. But yeah, like I said, as far as the argument she was making about black people and where we need to be, I agree with that. I also agree that people focus too much on what they think words mean versus what they actually mean. People were getting upset with her saying average and mediocre, and she explained the definition of those words are not to put anybody down. It's just really saying what most people do. To that I say, if most people do that, then that's where most people are at. And so you shouldn't look down. Most women shouldn't look down on getting an average making man, because most likely you're an average making woman. Again, Ebony is on a higher end, but again, Ebony is single. So I don't know, one thing I know why she might be single is that attitude, because even before Envy stood up and started defending the average workers, she was already puffing that chest hard and bulking out and talking about you need to strive for better and da 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 da. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you that top tier guy that Ebony wants, that's not, that type of attitude is not gonna cut it. And so again, while you over here looking down at that bus driver, I'm telling you right now, Eboni K, you got a lot of men looking down at your behavior as not being ladylike. And if you don't care, you don't care. That's fine. But from you wanting to talk to Ayana about this type of man you want and that type of man and how can men and women coexist, it does sound like you do want to have a man. Maybe your personality just don't fit it. So maybe you should reconsider that bus driver, because he might be able to take the attitude a little bit more than one of them high rollers that you clearly you're talking about. You want a boss with, that owns the business. So that's my 2 cents on that. Of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I'm dropping new content on the channel. And that's it, because this is the podcast. This is just the YouTube video show. So that's what's up. I do really wish though that Kevin Samuels was here to talk about this, because Eboni Williams brought up a lot of topics that he talked about on his show, which is, the women, particularly black women, wanting men to have all the 6 figures and chasing his dream and do all this and not being okay with a man who has an average job, average living that you can have a good life with. Maybe not do everything in the world with, but y'all can have a comfortable lifestyle with and grow together. She really was exuding all those negative traits that have been put on women to not accept, not quote unquote settle for less, and which is why we have so many unhappy women, because they all of them want the same few percent of men, and especially they want them black too, right? And so Ebony's stepping out. She had a white man, but I'm still even if you step out your race, it's still a small percentage of men who making the type of money that you're talking about, and you're promoting this lifestyle that majority of women will not be able to maintain with a partner. They can probably be tossed around, but they'll never be able to be somebody's wife like that, or most of them won't anyway. You get a select few who will. And so I just think that's dangerous rhetoric, and maybe Ebony needs to start thinking about that as well. Again, I'm so happy I'm supporting her as far as trying to get black people to do better and exposing us to more and more issues that are happening under our noses and talking about voting and things like that. But you also got to look at the message you preach about average workers to these women and what they're already hearing right now from other people, other celebrities. So yeah, just something to think about. Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me. Yeah. Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.